On July 17, 1996, TWA Flight 800 took off from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York, bound for Paris. What was supposed to be a routine flight for the 230 passengers and crew turned into one of the most tragic and mysterious events in aviation history. The plane exploded in mid-air, killing everyone on board. For years, the cause of the explosion was a mystery. Was it a terrorist attack, a mechanical failure, or something else? Today, we're going to uncover the truth behind TWA Flight 800, a story full of twists, confusion, and shocking revelations. Stick with us until the end, because the mystery that captivated the world has finally been solved. At 8:19 p.m., TWA Flight 800 took off, carrying 230 people, including passengers and crew, from New York to Paris. The flight seemed routine, cruising over the Atlantic Ocean at an altitude of 13,000 feet. But then, just 12 minutes into the flight, disaster struck. A massive explosion rocked the plane, sending it plummeting into the ocean. Passengers, crew, and the plane itself vanished in an instant. The event shocked the world, leaving many to question, what caused such a devastating explosion? Was it an accident, or was there something more sinister at play? As soon as the plane exploded, debris rained down over the ocean. Emergency crews scrambled to search for survivors, but there were none. The National Transportation Safety Board (NTSB) immediately launched an investigation. Was it a mechanical issue, a bomb, or perhaps a missile attack? Initial reports raised questions about the cause. Witnesses reported seeing a streak of light in the sky before the explosion, leading many to speculate it might have been a missile or even a terrorist attack. The investigation became a race against time, as the world awaited answers. As the investigation unfolded, experts worked tirelessly to piece together the clues. Flight data recorders were recovered, and the wreckage was examined, but the cause of the explosion remained elusive. The debris was scattered over a large area, and investigators were left with more questions than answers. At first, the focus was on the possibility of a bomb or missile attack. However, after months of analysis, experts found no evidence of external damage. No signs of an explosion from the outside of the aircraft suggested the plane had been hit by something like a missile or bomb. The case grew even more complicated. What was the true cause? After a long and complex investigation, a critical discovery was made. Experts discovered that the explosion had originated inside the plane. It wasn't a bomb or missile, it was a fuel tank explosion. But what caused the fuel tank to explode? The answer came when investigators looked more closely at the aircraft's center fuel tank. They discovered that wiring inside the tank had caused a short circuit, which ignited the vaporized fuel inside. The spark from the faulty wiring was enough to cause a catastrophic explosion, setting off a chain reaction that destroyed the plane. This revelation shocked the world. The cause wasn't terrorism, and it wasn't a mechanical failure. It was a combination of flawed wiring and fuel vapors inside the tank, a highly dangerous situation that had gone unnoticed for too long. In the wake of the disaster, new safety measures were implemented to prevent similar tragedies. The NTSB's findings led to significant changes in aircraft design and fuel tank safety. One of the most important changes was the introduction of inerting systems in fuel tanks, which prevent the buildup of explosive vapors in the first place. TWA Flight 800 became a wake-up call for the aviation industry. Although the tragedy was devastating, it led to significant improvements in safety regulations that continue to protect passengers today. But even as the cause of the explosion was understood, the memory of Flight 800 lingered. Families of the victims, the public, and the investigators were all left with one lingering question: Could it have been prevented? Although the official investigation pointed to an electrical short circuit as the cause of the explosion, the incident continues to be shrouded in mystery for some. Over the years, conspiracy theories have emerged, suggesting that the crash could have been the result of a missile attack or other external forces. Some witnesses still claim to have seen strange lights in the sky that night. But the overwhelming evidence points to a tragic and preventable accident, one that could have been avoided if the potential danger of fuel tank vapors had been addressed earlier. The safety measures that came from this tragedy saved countless lives in the years to come, but it doesn't change the fact that 230 lives were lost. As we look back on TWA Flight 800, the truth is clear: it was a catastrophic tragedy caused by a combination of factors: a flawed electrical system, combined with the volatile conditions in the aircraft's center fuel tank. While the incident wasn't caused by terrorism or sabotage, it was the result of a long-standing issue that could have been addressed earlier. The explosion may have been a mystery at first, but now, thanks to the dedication of investigators, we know what happened that fateful night. The loss of Flight 800 will always be remembered, not just for the lives lost, but for the lessons learned and the safety changes that followed. So, the mystery of TWA Flight 800 has finally been solved, but the pain and tragedy of that day still resonate. It was a wake-up call that changed aviation history, saving countless lives in the future. If you've watched until the end, you now understand the true cause behind the explosion and how it led to important changes in air safety. The mystery may be solved, but the legacy of TWA Flight 800 will never be forgotten. Stay tuned for more stories about the mysteries and breakthroughs that shape our world today.